Close my every time I close my time I close my
Yes, guys, welcome. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you very much for joining me again today. Hope everyone's doing really well. Yeah, I know I had a video this afternoon I couldn't do because I had a massive migraine. That's why I got my glasses on. Yeah, I was feeling sick and everything. So I literally only woke up about 45 minutes ago. So yeah, I felt rough all day, man. But I'm here doing the call-in show tonight. Big up to everyone who's joined. Hope you're doing well. I haven't done a call-in show in absolutely ages. So what I'll do in a bit when the people come in, just wait for more people to come in onto the show. I'll put the link in the chat and you guys can call in and have your say. And when I do the call-in shows, guys, you know, if I don't know you and it's your first time calling in, just put your camera on so I know you're a real person. There's too many idiots about that ruin it for everyone. So, yeah, big up to everyone. I hope you're doing good. Loads to talk about. Obviously, we've got the game from last night where Klopp's kids did it again. Michael Edwards' story coming out now that he might be flying to Boston tomorrow for a meeting with FSG. Simon Hughes, reporter for, I think, the Liverpool Echo, has said today that the FSG Michael Edwards thing might be a smoke screen because they've already got their sporting director lined up. Loads of things going on. But big up everyone in chat, all doing well. Don't forget to go and smash that like. Don't forget and go and smash that subscribe. Also, Xabi Alonso. Rumours circulating today that Liverpool go offer him a 3-year deal. You know, making him the 5th highest paid manager in world football, apparently. Interesting. A 3-year deal seems kind of short to me. I don't, Klopp's leaving. A 3-year deal just seems a little bit short. 4 or 5 year deal I could understand, but a 3-year deal seems a bit short. I don't know if Alonso would accept that because it is only a 3-year deal. Let's see how we go. But it looks like it's going to be between Xabi Alonso and Ruben Amorim. They look like they're the only two people that FSG are targeting. It don't look like there's any other managers on the radar. I don't think De Zerbi's an actual candidate. I'd be shocked. Also, I don't think he's that good. Yeah, but Ruben Amorim, and they're going through the data, and he looks like the one with Xabi Alonso. I think Xabi Alonso is their main target, and rightly so. And if he turns us down for any kind of reason, then FSG will go and get Ruben Amorim by the look of it. the Mark Wedgwood stuff again is interesting. But yeah, I like big up to everyone in the chat, big up Scraps as well. You're doing well, man. Keep it real, Bruno and Revenite. Loads of guys in the chat. I hope you're all doing good. It's an interesting time to be a Liverpool fan right now. It really is. Although there's some miserable motherfuckers on social media, I ain't gonna lie. There you go. I've sworn 5 minutes in. That's me non-monetized. But there's some miserable bastards online. There really are. I just don't know what's the matter with Liverpool fans these days. You know, it's just ridiculous. It's so miserable. You know, we've won a cup on the weekend. We just beat Southampton, a good championship side, who have actually only been a Premier League side for the last 10 years. They've been and we beat them 3-0 with kids. The youth team's good. And there's miserable people out there. I saw a tweet earlier on today that's Klopp, like a quote from what Jurgen Klopp put out on in his press conference saying that don't forget the kids when the transfer window opens. And obviously all the negative bastards came around it. Oh, this just shows that FSG ain't going to buy anyone and we're going to have to rely on the kids and Klopp's giving us the future. And it's like, no, it's not what he's saying. Jesus Christ. The amount of miserable sods there are does my absolute nutting. Absolute nutting. And now we've been linked with that guy from Brentford today, haven't we? Right. So this is what does my head in, yeah? So there's a few people on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it these days, right? That moan about Liverpool being linked to transfers. Liverpool being linked to this player and that player. And these so-called mutants on X just keep tweeting, how can we be listed with people for transfers when we haven't got a sporting director and we don't know who our manager's going to be next year? How is it possible? So Brian, I can't pronounce his name. You know the guy from Brentford. And Buano, is it? I can't pronounce it properly. I do apologise. Liverpool have been linked to him today. And these same people come out and said, well, he ain't a Liverpool. Oh, that's such a cheapskate transfer. That's such a bad transfer. What an awful player to buy. And then someone listed his stats off as 7 goals and 3 assists this season or something like that. And like, why do we want to buy that sort of winger? And then someone replies saying, you do know he's been out for 2.5 months, yeah? So, and he plays for Brentford. That GA is not actually that bad for a team that fights at the bottom of the league and has been out for 2.5 months. It just does my head in. He's a good player, man. He's quick. He actually is a Michael Edwards kind of transfer, ain't he? And this is my favourite one now. This is my favourite one on social media at the moment with the mutants on social media. Right, these mutants, yeah. Now they don't rate Michael Edwards. I don't know if people on Twitter have seen this. Let me know if you've seen it on Twitter. These people now that used to love Michael Edwards and thought he was the good best thing going, now don't rate him. Now they don't rate him because he might be coming back. You can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. They don't rate him. For the last 3 years, they've been going, oh, yeah, we need Michael Edwards back. No, they don't rate him because he might come back. Because it don't fit their agenda. Because they've been fucked. Yeah, that's what they said. It's all Klopp. It weren't Edwards. And people were going, well, what did Edwards do before Klopp? Well, not much, because he only got promoted to the job 1 year before Klopp joined as manager. Yeah. Yeah, he only got promoted to sporting director the year before Klopp joined. Or actually might have been that season when Klopp joined. They've basically been hand in hand. And then people were talking about, well, if Klopp got Julian Brandt, I bet Julian Brandt would have been an awesome buy. He would have been an awesome buy. But then I replied to this person and go, you do know the person we didn't get in Julian Brandt was Mohamed Salah, yeah? You know, we turned down Julian Brandt to get Mohamed Salah, the greatest winger in Premier League history. Yeah, that guy, yeah? That was a Michael Edwards buy. You do know Diogo Jota was a Michael Edwards buy. Yeah? Klopp wanted Timo Werner. And Michael Edwards said, no. when you go get Diogo Jota as a better footballer. It just drives me absolutely balmy. Balmy, man. Yeah, the problem is, Scraps. I know what you're saying, but they're the main voices on that channel for Liverpool fans. They are the big Twitter heads. Big up John Conway, who's gifted out 5 memberships. Big up to John Conway. If you guys have got them, big up to you. John Conway is a living legend. Thank you very much, my friend. Really do appreciate it, my man. Really do appreciate it. Big up to everyone in the chat. Hope you're all good. Hope you're all good. See, look, I get. Do you know how many times I get criticised, guys? I get had to go out all the time because I'm apparently an FSG fan or a top red because I disagree. It just does my head in. I'm sick of the fan base just moaning constantly. We're in a good space at the moment. We're in a great space. No one knows the future. No one knows what's going to happen. And like I keep saying a million times, if FSG get it wrong or fuck up, I'll go at FSG. But at this moment in time, there's nothing to have a go at them about. And the new one, the one that does my head in at this moment in time, is when we keep talking about Xabi Alonso and people keep saying Xabi Alonso might not want to join Liverpool because he'll have to transfer. Don't blame Alonso if he turns Liverpool down because he'll have to transfer budget of a Burnley. I'm like, okay. Right, so Xabi Alonso's going to have to transfer budget of a Burnley. Must be why Liverpool are top of the league and Burnley are bottom. It must be because that transfers Burnley spent on must be, they got Szoboszlai like players, they got McAllister like players at Burnley. Obviously, I don't know why it's going wrong for them. Must be really confused. I'm confused there. I'm confused. Yeah, it just drives me absolutely balmy. It really does. It bloody drives me nuts. I ain't gonna lie. Obviously, Liverpool's pre-2022, 2022, 2023 financial year come out. Commercial breaking Liverpool's 9 million tax loss from 2022 to 2023 financial year, but commercial revenues climbed to a new high. Wage bill increased by 7 million, now up to 373 million. Right. People are going mad because Liverpool's wage bill is 373 million, yeah? When a list came out, I think a week or so ago, showing that Liverpool's wage bill for players is 162 million. And that's correct. Liverpool's basic wage bill is 162 million. What they don't tell you is the extras that go on top for bonuses, because bonuses are still taxable. Yeah, because bonuses are still taxable. That's why it goes onto the list. So Liverpool's wages is 300 odd million because Liverpool pay every player and every staff member that it works at Liverpool Football Club bonuses. They all actively get bonuses, and sometimes the players get big bonuses. Now, there's a rumour at the beginning of the season that Mo Salah, with his bonuses on top of the weekly wage that he gets, which is 350 grand a week, with his bonuses on top and his endorsements on top of that, Mo Salah almost takes home 700 grand a week because of the bonuses and endorsements on top of it. But it doesn't get broken down, so it just gets put down as one lump sum. And it just gets put down as one lump sum. Media revenue fell 19 million, match day income fell 7 million, commercial revenue up 25 million pounds. Now, media and match day income is going to go down because we weren't in the Champions League, was it? Because we didn't qualify for, was it that one? I can't remember. It was a year. What's the 22-23 year? So what one we in now? We're in the 23-24 year, ain't we? So it'd have been last season, wasn't it? So, yeah, 2023 season was last season. This is the 23-24 season. So it's because we didn't qualify for the Champions League. You know, when you don't qualify for the Champions League, you go lose a lot of money. It's just the way it is. You just go lose a lot of money not qualifying for the Champions League. So I got no, you know, I think all us fans knew we might take a little bit of a hit this year because we weren't in the Champions League. But commercial revenue went up 25 million. So although we lost money, we lost like £9 million is all Liverpool lost pre-tax. Pre-tax, all Liverpool lost last year was £9 million. I tell you what, for not being in the Champions League this season, for not qualifying for the Champions League, and the high wages some of our players are on, and our manager are on, and people like that, a £9 million loss isn't that bad, is it? It really ain't. You think about you think about big teams that have not qualified for the Champions League for 1 year. They have far bigger hits than £9 million. It's not actually that bad. It's not actually that bad. And we went out Champions League early as well. Big up, my man. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, they're PR merchants, man. Totally. I mean, you're telling me Declan Rice is on peanuts. That's what they're telling us. Jamie looks like a computer scientist. It's because I had a migraine today, man. I've been ill all day, man. I only woke up 45 minutes ago, an hour ago. Had a bit of dinner. Come up here. So yeah, I've got the specs on. Where's K-Mac? Oh, I thought it's a call-in show. K-Mac might call in. But yeah, K-Mac will be back tomorrow probably. Big up K-Mac. Big up Fozzie in the chat as well. You doing well, Fozzie? Guys, make sure you go and subscribe to Fozzie's channel as well. Big up Fozzie. I think I saw a fanner in here as well. Make sure you go and subscribe to Football Content Factory as well. Loads of people go and subscribe to in the Liverpool community. Make sure you go and do it. The chat demands K-Mac, you know. We'll get K-Mac on tomorrow, man. We'll get K-Mac on tomorrow. He might even call in. Who knows? Yeah, but a £9 million loss, I don't think it's that bad, really. Went out Champions League really early, then didn't qualify for the Champions League. Players on high wages, manager on high wages, coaches. You know, I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad. And with a £9 million tax loss, with a £9 million loss, we still went and rebuilt our midfield. This is what I'm saying. This is what I keep saying. The owners ain't as bad as everyone says they are. We had a £9 million loss. We went out the Champions League. Commercial revenue went up. We went out the Champions League, guys, and our commercial revenue went up. Do you know how hard that is to do? You're going out the Champions League, the biggest competition in Europe, where you're going to get less commercial money from being in the biggest competition. You're going to get less sponsorship for being in the biggest competition, and you still make more money in commercial revenue. That ain't bad, is it? That ain't bad. And then they still rebuilt our midfield. It's not the worst in the world, man. It's not. I keep saying it. We can have worse owners, man. We could have worse owners. I always think we've got to be careful what we wish for in life. You know, some people, you know, what we could have got the Chelsea owner. FSG literally could have sold to them, you know, and could have got that Chelsea owner. And look at the shit we would be in. Our stadium is still too small. What is it, 61,000 now? 61,000. The only thing is they can build on the Kop, but because the Kop goes onto the main road, to make the Kop bigger, you basically need to build a bridge or a tunnel over the main road that connects to the stadium so traffic can still move. Otherwise, you're going to take all the traffic up. You can't take anything up on the road. So that's what they have to do there to build the Kop up. I think they will eventually do the Kop. I think the Kop will be built up eventually. I would say if they built the Kop up, they could probably go to 65, 68,000. That's a big stadium, man. It's a big stadium. It's a big stadium. Bees. Look, sir, you need to say sorry to me. You said Van Dijk. Terry. So you need to say sorry to me. You said Van Dijk is better than Terry. I actually put, if I remember rightly, I put John Terry in my top 5 centre backs of all time in the Premier League. If I remember rightly, the other day, I said Van Dijk, Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Sol Campbell. And who else did I say? I can't remember. There was one more defender. And I said that was my top 5 Premier League defenders of all time. So I rate John Terry, man. Not as a person, but as a defender, you can't not rate him. But Van Dijk for me is better than John Terry. Could John Terry play a high line, one-on-one defending? I don't think he could. And I don't think John Terry ever had a season like Van Dijk did when he came runner-up in the Ballon d'Or, beating Cristiano Ronaldo into second place and only losing the Ballon d'Or, by 7 points? I just, you know what I mean? But big one in chat, but I'll still put him in my top 5 centre-backs in Premier League history. Doesn't mean I still rate him. How many centre-backs do you know that had a serious knee injury, like Van Dijk did? That's a career-threatening knee injury, and then come back better than he's ever have been. Yeah, exactly, Mike. Robbed of the Ballon d'Or. But how many centre-backs does everyone know that can have that injury at 30 years old? That serious knee injury at 30 years old, and then eventually come back, and he's now better than he's ever been. For me, he's the player of the year this year, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't think there's been a better player for the whole 12 months, the whole season so far, than Virgil van Dijk. I actually don't think that I don't actually think that Liverpool would be top of the league if it weren't for Van Dijk. You know, Van Dijk weren't there, I don't think we'd be top of the league at all. But guys, I'm gonna put my link in the chat. It's a call-in show. We'll go get you guys in. So the link is going to be in the chat, guys. So make sure you come in and have your say. If you are new around here, just put your camera on so I can see your face. Otherwise, yeah. Especially if you're new, guys. Lots of chat about, loads of Liverpool content to talk about. Get you all in here. Yeah, we've got loads of chat about, man. Michael Edwards situation, the Alonso situation, the Klopp's kids from last night doing it again. Dan's, you know, I've seen people going a bit over the top already about Dan's. We've got to calm ourselves down about him. He's obviously an exciting talent for the future, but you know, there's obviously a talent there. There's no doubt about it. But people saying he's our new Harry Kane, let's just chill a little bit. But he's a quality player there. There's no doubt about it. Let's get some of you guys in. How are we doing?
Yeah,
how you doing, Jamie?
We all good? How's everyone?
Yeah,
Good.
Good. Mike, how you been, mate?
I've been good, man. I've been good. How about yourself?
Oh, well, I've had headache and migraine all day. It's been killer, man.
Damn.
I got up about 45 minutes ago. Fucking dead. That's why the
Drink
glasses
plenty
are on,
of
man.
fluids. Just drink a shitload of water.
I don't like water. Water makes me choke. I can't stand it.
Okay.
I can't stand
fluids.
Water. I've got to put, I've got to put some ops in. Beer.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
But how did everyone like the result last night? How did you find the performance? Mike, I'll start with you. Performance yesterday. How did you find it?
I thought that all the kids played well, and I thought that all the errors were caused by senior players. The Southampton's first chance, that's Harvey Elliott driving the ball across the pitch from the right to left side recklessly. There were a couple poor giveaways from the back line, but I don't really think that you can criticize the kids because, like, if he's got a heavy touch here or a heavy touch there, he's 18 years old and he's starting in an FA Cup game. Like, I don't expect him to be flawless. Like, there's going to be mistakes like that. Like, Bobby Clark made a few mistakes, but then he made up for it by assisting Kumas. So I think all in all, it was good. The only problem I had was that it looked like Klopp was doing the first team tactics with youth players, in which I understand the pro side of that. Like, they need to learn our system. But at the same time, the analogy I like to give is if I were a boxer and I had a hand tied behind my back, should I fight like I have one hand or fight like I have two? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you, man. I get you. Let's get some people in there. So big up to everyone. Hope you're doing all good.
Yeah. How are you?
NJ, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good, Jamie. How you doing, man? Great to be here.
Not bad, not bad.
First time
Bruno?
recording.
Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks.
Bruno, what was your thoughts on the game last night?
I thought the first half we was very disjointed. The first 35, 40 minutes, it looked very disjointed. But once we got hold of the game in the second half, we started to click into gear. And then once that first goal came in, it suddenly calmed everything down.
Yeah, definitely. You, Raj, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you, Jamie?
I'm good, man. I'll ask you the same question. The game, how do you find it?
Like I said, I think we took control once we the first goal. I think the youngsters were good, but I don't want to be negative, but I'm worried about one player, and I'm worried about Gakpo. For me, I think he's I don't know. I think Gakpo could be sold this summer for me. If there's a forward because apparently we want to afford this summer, we'll go more depth into that. But honestly, I'm worried about Gakpo. That's my main worry here at the moment. But let's be positive here. So it was a good performance. I have nothing to really be negative about except like. So yeah, I wasn't really worried about us losing. Like, once we scored the first goal, we were in control. So it was actually a good win. Good win for the youngsters. Knowing him first next, but Dan's, he looks talented. Dan's, but I don't want to hype him up yet. He's talented, but let's not go overboard. I don't want to put pressure on him, like unnecessary pressure. But he's been, he was.
We'll talk about Dan's and that in a bit. NGA, how did you find the game, man? Performance?
Performance-wise, I'd say before the goal, in the first half, it was like what Bruno and the others have said, a bit disjointed. But I do understand there were players playing our position, and we did have about 5 to 6 academy players starting. I'd say notoriously with second halves, is we seem to be like the best team when it comes to second halves. Everyone started, flowing well. The defense, especially the fullbacks, weren't being targeted as much. And I think even when Ibu came on, he did more defending than for Van Dijk. But I understand, especially playing those 120 minutes, Van Dijk did well. But yeah, Dan's did look really good, and I'm happy that we managed to get through because I really wanted us to win this game, especially with the injuries we had. The fact that it's rescheduled the Everton game as well, so we'll probably have players back. But shout out to Kelleher as well, man. Like, this guy's definitely proved me wrong because I thought during that Fulham game when he made those mistakes, are we going to be comfortable with having him in our goal? But honestly, I think it's really good that he's performing. So when Ali comes back, it gives Ali time to rest instead of us like putting Ali back in. But yeah, that's about it, really.
Cool. I agree with him. Jen, how are you?
Hi, everyone.
And Jen, for you, because you haven't been on for a while now, but I just want to say congratulations to get monetized on your channel, Jen.
Thank you.
Congrats, Jen.
Thank
So
you.
well done.
Good work, Jen.
Congratulations. Jenny, how did you find the game?
I don't know the good half. I think the game we played very well. A good half, but in the second half, good kick, well. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you, Jen. Second half, the kids are definitely better. There's no doubt about that. Paul, how you doing, man?
A long time no see, Jen. I mean, Jamie, long time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I ain't done a calling show for ages, man.
Oh, no, you haven't. That's what I'm saying.
I ain't had
Yeah.
the time, man. I ain't had family and all that, but we're good now. We're good.
Yeah.
Go on, man. What did you got to say? How'd you find the
I'm
game?
gonna say, basically, I had my concerns in the first 15 minutes. They could have had 5. They could have 4 or 5, which was concerning. But once we got into the game, I thought we looked really good, even with the kids in there, and even with like someone said earlier, players playing out of position. Joe Gomez as a 6 or a holding midfield player was a bit unusual for me. I thought. But
Yeah, even the 6, just it was
it was a bit unusual.
Never again.
He struggled at first, then he got once the game continued, he got better and better. So, but the player I was impressed by, apart from Dan's, was Clark. He looked really good.
Yeah, I
was
rate
impressed
Bobby
by
Clark, man. I think Bobby Clark's going to be a player.
Be one for the future.
Definitely. Right. We'll get to the future talk in 1 sec. I'll just get to everyone.
Yeah.
Is that Cal Netto's army I see there? Or is it Sean? Are you there yet? I think you went to the toilet. The uncle is back.
Uncle, long time.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, we're all right, mate. We're all right.
Thanks.
Hi,
We're good,
Jenny.
man.
How are you?
Doing better, man. Doing better.
Yeah.
How'd you find the game last night, mate? How'd you find the game?
I think it was very good. I actually my highlight of the game was actually seeing Joe Gomez play as a 6. I thought it was hilarious.
It was a bit unusual, yes.
Is Gomez Ghanaian as well, Uncle?
No, Joe Gomez is not Ghanaian, man. But I tell you what, Gapo is now Togolese, man. I shuffled across the border. He's gone back to Togo, man. But Kwanzaa is Ghanaian, though. You know that, right?
Is he?
Is he?
Yeah, Kwanzaa has Ghanaian and origins. And so does Doku. Doku. He's also,
And the guy who played for Southampton on the left, I think he's Ghanaian. Talamini?
Yeah, there's Kamaldeen Sulemana. Yeah, he's from Ghana.
He's also Ghanaian as well.
But he's Ghanaian, not diasporan Ghanaian. He's like he plays for the national team. Yeah.
I think he's a better player than Doku, personally.
And that kid in Leicester, Fatau, he's also from Ghana.
All right.
The guy who scored the goal in the FA Cup
with
his left foot, he's Ghanaian. As for Gakpo, we've gotten rid of him, man. He's from Togo now. Gakpo can stay Togo.
Oh no.
The rate at which he misses.
Right, guys.
I absolutely loved Jayden dance yesterday, man. What a discovery!
Well, this is going to be our first subject today. Is young Jayden dance, Mike? I've said it at the top of the show. This kid's obviously a talented footballer, but we've just got to relax on him at the moment. Not, just let him mature, get into the game. He's brand new to it. I've seen Liverpool fans already saying he's our Harry Kane, which we could just chill. People chill.
Relax.
What do you think of the future? What do you think of the future, Mike? What do you think of the future of Jayden Dance?
It's funny because I think the first game he was on the bench, if I'm not mistaken, was against Luton. And just before that game, I had seen a highlight reel of his. Someone had posted it on YouTube, right? Because I think he's got like 13 or 14 goals for the youth squad this season. And he also
21.
My bad. He well, maybe at the time of the video when it was posted, he had 13. And I know that he had a little bit of an injury at the beginning of the season, but the kid looked really good, right? He looked fast, he has pace, he has touch, and most importantly, he has composure in front of goal. And all of those he showed yesterday. Like his run was very intelligent. on the first goal where he chips the keeper. The second one, he's just the first man there, which is what I want to see out of a striker. I want that instinct. I want him making the run and following it through. But he's 18 years old, so I think that he has all of the potential qualities in terms of he's a big guy, he's quick, and he clearly has composure in front of the goal. But we need to step away from the ledge and be regular progression. He might not be Harry Kane right now, but he did a hell of a lot better than Cody Gakpo did, because Cody Gakpo had the same type of finish in the first half, and instead of chipping it over the keeper, he shot it about 5 feet wide to the right. But yeah, I really like what I see out of him. I think he's got a lot of potential, and he's got all of the intangibles.
Yeah, Bruno, what do you think of him, man?
I think we need to relax with the comparisons of the Harry Kanes and the flipping. You don't need to do that. Right? You need to relax with the comparisons. That's not good. We can't be doing that. Let the guy settle. Let the guy play his game. The worst thing you can do is start comparing him to Harry Kanes, Robbie Fowlers, Ian Rushes, and Peter Crouches and all that. You don't need to be doing that. Let the guy play his game and let him cook by himself without the comparisons. That's what we need to do.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. NGA, what do you recommend?
Yeah, literally, I think he's a good player. From what we've seen, obviously, the Luton game, the final, he's always trying to, ask for the ball. He doesn't hide. He's always trying to press from the front, and his goals, especially the first goal, took it beautifully with that chip. That not a lot of young players would do, especially playing, that many minutes. But yeah, like everyone else is saying, I really don't want this to turn into a Ben Woodburn situation when Ben Woodburn had scored, and I remember the hype about he's the youngest player to have scored, and I think what they'll do is they'll probably put him on loan, to like a Bolton or a team that we've got a really good connection with, and we'll see from there how well we'll do.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like a Blackburn or a Bolton maybe next season, because they're the two teams we seem to loan our players to. Actually, obviously do all right there. Conor Bradley did excellent at Bolton. Now you're seeing the benefit of that loan deal. Jen, how did you find Dan's last night?
I really like the way he did his good goal.
Yep.
I really like he was the kicking goalkeeper, but they only got one. Yeah.
No, I'm with you, Jen. I'm with you. Big up to Edward in the chat as well. You're doing well, man. Look, obviously Dan's for me is going to be an important player for Liverpool for the years to come. So I'm in no rush for him to get into the squad or anything like that. But I think we might see him in a few more games this season. But I think next season a good loan deal will do him the world of good, because he's obviously a talent. And if you look at the players Liverpool have loaned and really think are serious talents, they're bringing back, Conor Bradley's. I think Carvalho will come back next season because he'll be playing under a different manager. It might suit him a little bit more. Who's the other guy at Hull? His name gone right.
Harvey Elliott's another one. Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott went to Blackburn. Suited him down to the ground.
Tyler Morton.
Yeah, Tyler Morton. Tyler Morton might be the player of the championship so far. He's doing bits. So yeah, these players I think have got a bright future, man. I really do. I just want to get everyone's opinion. Paul, I want to get your opinion on Michael Edwards. So obviously the story broke yesterday that FSG are trying to get Michael Edwards back at the club. For me, it's the correct decision. He shouldn't have left in the first place, in my opinion. But the story is at the moment that he doesn't want to come back as a sporting director because he's been there and done that. He actually wants to control the club. He wants to run the football club. And the way this is what I want. I want footballing people to run the club. John W. Henry can be the owner. He doesn't have to get involved in things. He can just be the owner. Have someone like a Michael Edwards who can run the football club. He employs the sporting director. They get the new manager in. For me, that works beautifully. What do you reckon, Paul?
I have mixed feelings about it. I'm not too keen on him coming back as a sporting director, but also not keen on him having all this power as well. in my personal opinion.
Why not, mate?
I think we should just have a clean break, get some new ideas, and get a different group of people in who are football people who don't necessarily have to have Michael Edwards back. In terms of scouting, in terms of recruitment, that could be spread all over the world. And we haven't taken effective. We haven't been effective in that area in the past. So we need someone who's going to have a broad brush when it comes to recruitments worldwide. I don't think Edwards is going to bring that personally, in my opinion.
That's fair. Yuvaj, what do you recommend?
I mean, I understand this point. To be fair, we need a move from the past. I think that's understandable. But I just think it's perfect timing now, because if he wants control, I don't mind it, because the genius he's done in the 3 years he was here, signing Salah and Mane over Brandt and Goetze, who Klopp wanted. I think he's gonna be. I would take him 100%, but I don't think it will happen personally. I think David Ornstein said today it will take a miracle, like a U-turn. I just don't see it, unless but what I like is FSG are being ambitious, and this is what I wanted. If you wanna, we're actually going for actual elite directors of football, going elite, and that's all I wanted. Just show ambition, and that's all we have to do. And I think if they get a spot on, and I think it will be spot on, because the way things are going right now, I think I will take Edwards, but I don't see it being Edwards. I think it'll be someone else. But whoever that person is, I trust FSG because they're showing ambition. They are showing, and I like that. They are showing some ambition.
Yeah, you got to be careful. The FSG praise you get come at. You know what I mean? You got to be careful. Uncle Albert.
You see, guys, let me just let me just arouse your let me call it your Hercule Poirot instinct, if you have one.
Go on in Pyro.
Can you answer why FSG are going after a guy who left Liverpool because of Klopp, while Klopp is still in position? Has anybody thought of that?
I think he left for more power because Klopp has so much power in him. I think that's why
he left because of Klopp. That's just a given.
Yeah.
They are going after him. They are going after him while Klopp is still in position. That should tell all of us. I mean, it should tell all of us that something happened during the summer. For me, nobody can convince me that Klopp signed an extension to his contract and decided to leave mid-contract because nothing happened. It just doesn't make any sense to me. In any case, as far as I am concerned, I think we need to be careful with a guy who's simply asking for control.
I agree.
There should be a job definition.
Yeah.
Do you want the job? If you don't want the job, fuck off. Let's go for somebody else. Frankly, I think it's very, very dangerous. As much as I am the first person to decry the amount of power that Klopp assumed for himself, don't fix that problem by going 180 degrees and messing everything up again.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah.
So what if the structure we want are a few people working together and making things take over? Fantastic.
You have to have a united front.
If what we want is the Colossus, whether the person is a sporting director or the coach, or basically my thoughts are that FSG simply want a coach. They don't want anybody whose image overshadows theirs. I mentioned this some time ago that the owners of Liverpool, I strongly suspect, are not too happy with the kind of image Klopp has with the supporters. They were not happy with it because it would appear that the supporters were blaming them for everything and forgetting that they are the ones who employed Klopp. And something happened. One fine day, somebody will give me my flowers. Why would you be going after a guy who left because of Klopp, whilst Klopp is still there? In Ghana, we have a saying that the person's corpse is not yet even in the morgue, and you're already doing the thing what he detested the most. Why did they get rid of Schmatka with the speed with which they got rid of him? Why didn't they want, if FSG was interested in continuity, why didn't they hand over the team to Pep Linders? Liverpool has a storied history of handing over the team to the next person, to the assistant. They gave it to Bob Paisley. They gave it to Joe Fagan. They gave it to Roy Evans. Why wouldn't they do same? Something has happened. But either way, my caution to them is, a guy keeps upping the ante and saying, give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that. If you give it to him, you're going to run into problems. So there are many sporting directors around. If you will not accept a slightly enhanced role as a sporting director, blah, 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 let him go. Get somebody else who's not gonna decide that he wants, the order of Liverpool. We can't give him the order of fucking
He
Liverpool.
wants
If
to be
he doesn't want
CEO,
a job,
doesn't he?
fuck off.
And
Sorry?
I
He
think
wants to be CEO, doesn't he? I think he wants to be rather.
Well, we already have a fucking CEO, don't we?
and I
Yeah,
We
think
already
I
have a chairman. We have everything. You want to be a sporting director with enhanced powers? Great. I think the guy is suffering from PTSD from his run-ins and his battles with Klopp. So if he doesn't want to come back, maybe some sort of enhanced form, great. If he doesn't want to come back, fuck off. But Liverpool
and I think
exists. Liverpool will always exist. Above all of us will die, Liverpool will exist. He should
and I
fuck
think
right off.
I swear he left the summer where Henderson got the new contract, or the old players got the new contract as well. I
I
think
totally agree with him on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was right.
He's right about
Everybody knows
Henderson.
he
Yeah.
was right. So
Which
for how long is he going to flog that shit? Everybody knows he was right. We all knew he was right. We all know Klopp was wrong. And
but
indeed, maybe that decision is what was one of the domino effects of why Klopp is leaving right now. Because one of the reasons why Klopp is going is because of how badly we did last season.
he was
The
about to
stress
leave.
was too much.
He was about to leave last summer, but then he decided to stay because he wanted to leave the squad in a good state.
Whatever. I mean, I
But-
just don't think that a guy who keeps asking for everything, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna ask to become the mayor of Liverpool next? Fuck him. Go
But
for
but
somebody
the
else.
thing is that I don't think he's asking for everything. Just to kind of play devil's advocate here, unfortunately, in journalism they like to take 2 or 3 words and blow things out of proportion. So what does full control
I
even
never
mean?
trust our media.
But
Mike,
I'm just talking about in absolute general. Like, let's just exclude sports here for a second. It's just punditry, right? So what does full control mean? In Michael Edwards' sense, full control may just be, I want to have the final say on any and all contracts and transfers. In which case, I would say, as a sporting director, that seems like that seems like a pretty fair proposal. Depending on who you get as a manager, obviously that couldn't happen with
Interrupt there,
Klopp.
mate. He's not. He doesn't want. I don't think he wants to come back as sporting director. He wants to be CEO.
But the thing is, that's something totally different, right?
Yeah, that's what he wants to be. He's not interested in being sporting director.
I'm just talking about this idea of full control and just not allowing things to be blown out of proportion.
Apparently,
I saw some stories.
Oh yeah, apparently, I saw Ornstein apparently said that it wasn't. Edwards hasn't actually asked for the control. Apparently, FSG the first time they came for him are the ones that said they wanted to give him full control. So it's very conflicting. No one actually really knows what.
But the thing is, I wouldn't even have a problem with that, to be honest
Exactly.
with you.
Same with me as well.
Because his scouting at the beginning, I mean, you're talking about all over the world. Roberto Firmino, Brazilian; Sadio Mane, Africa; Mohamed Salah, Africa; Virgil van Dijk, Holland. Like, he literally got players from all over the world, and we know who Klopp wanted, and we know who Klopp extended, and we know why the team was doing poor. And is it a coincidence that all of our form? Is it a coincidence that the downfall of those 2 seasons were without Michael Edwards? I don't know. It seems to be kind of odd timing. I think the guy has a world of talents that he can bring this club. I don't want him to come in and be a dictator, but at the same time, I would not be opposed to the idea of, if he gets to work with Xabi Alonso and Xabi Alonso checks off and says, you can have full control over scouting and transfers, I'd be like, bada bing, bada boom. You're my new sporting director. Easy as that.
Yep.
You know,
Well,
my my lawyer has a saying. He says laws are made for laws are not made for good people. Let's be careful that you remove that element of people, even like a team of rivals. You know that Doris Kenn's Goodwin book, Team of Rivals. If you have people who are kind of like butting heads in a way, jaw drawing and deciding over things that need to be decided over in any big organization, is better than having a single dictator, whether the person is benevolent or otherwise. And just because if the person makes a shitty ass decision, it ends up affecting everybody. My thing is, FSG by now, you guys realize that tomorrow is the 1st of March. So by the end of April, we should have somebody who is coming in. The person is
Yeah,
not
I
going to
think
just come in.
Yeah.
The person is not just going to come in and Klopp has left today. Klopp locked his office, cleared his office, turned over the keys to the janitor, and the person came in the next morning and opened the doors. There must be a transition period. So FSG, I strongly suspect they have their man already, at least in terms of who our manager is going to be. I think they have their man already. But in terms of whoever the sporting director, whatever else needs to be done, don't forget there's an assistant manager to come. There are other things. There were 2 assistant managers because Klopp is living with everybody. Incidentally, that's also something that is worth noting. Why is Klopp living with everybody? Those people have decided they want Klopp gone and they want everything that he came with gone. People don't want to believe it, but that's what is going on.
Anyway. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as far as I am concerned, this thing should be done. It should be done quickly, because you don't want a scenario where you've brought in a new manager. I read somewhere today that Xavi Alonso wants to come in Florian Wirtz and Frimpong. Whether it is true or not, definitely a manager will come in with at least 1 or 2 players. All those things need to be done, needs to be negotiated. We definitely don't want to go and buy any Chelsea price players, right? So these things need to be done, needs to be done quickly. If somebody's wasting your time, move on.
And what makes me wonder is
Exactly. It shouldn't take like 25 years to get things done. These things should be done quickly, not sitting there taking like flipping 25, 50 years to get a flipping sporting director in. Like, what in the name of garbage is this?
what makes me wonder is usually FSG run through if they go rejected the first time, they don't go in. What's made me wonder? Edward said no earlier, I think in January. They're going for it again. What makes me wonder is why we're going for it again. We're doing it. I think they're doing so. I think it's agreed. I think if FSG going it twice, there's something going on there. Why FSG going twice? They never do.
Something going on, bro. Something going on.
They never do this. Like first time they get rejected, like all right, gone. But like they're going for a second time. That makes you wonder. There's something. It's either a smoke screen. I don't know. I'm not sure. But there's something going on. Why are we going for the second time? I don't know. But there's something going on.
If he doesn't want to come, then he doesn't want to come. Move on. Why is it taking flipping 25 years? Like,
Yeah.
I don't. Hang on. Let me just get his super chat in. Big up Sam Max there. He says Alonso got a choice of Madrid, Liverpool, Bayern. Don Carlo might go Bayern. That leaves Madrid and Liverpool. He ain't going to go to the scum United if they dump Kojak. No, he's never going to go United. Look, I'll get to the Alonso thing in a minute. What I will say about the FSG stuff and hiring, I think what FSG, I'm going to give them a little bit of credit here, because I actually think they're trying to get this right.
Yeah,
I think they want to get this
Fair enough,
correct,
yeah.
because they know if you go back to Brendan Rodgers' era at Liverpool, I know we don't want to look back at that because it's horrible, but if we go and look back at that, it was
Good lad.
yeah, it was a different setup. You know, the setup at Liverpool was completely different back then than it was when Klopp came in. So they changed the way they focused on the club and the way the club is run. So they went from Brendan Rodgers to Klopp, changing it, and now they want to go away from the Klopp era, which I think is the correct thing to do, because you can't look for a manager like Jurgen Klopp, because there's none out there, and you don't want to get someone who's just Diet Coke Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it won't work.
They're showing ambition.
Or this
Yeah,
is like
Yeah.
kind of
I have no issue not giving it to Pep Linders. Like I think that if Klopp goes,
I do.
I want all of them gone. I want a fully new slate. I don't need Pep Linders trying to be Klopp 2.0. And
I
also,
agree.
do think
and also,
Totally agree.
I think he wants to go. Like I think that's the one thing that everyone's kind of missing here is that like all of these guys said that they're going with Klopp. I think all of them want to leave. I think that Pep wants to go do something somewhere else in a country that isn't named England. I think he wants to go. I mean, he's also a very young guy. Like Pep is not an old dude. I think he's in his 40s. He's got a lot of time to build. He'll probably go manage somewhere in France or Germany, and then he'll build
Ajax.
himself up and
He's
come
in
back.
talks with Ajax right
Yeah.
now.
Well, there you go. Holland, same
So
thing.
let's get
You know,
now. I
they're
hear
all-
rumors that Pep is going to Ajax. Ajax.
Yeah,
Looks
I
like
think
it's on
Ajax
there.
is a decent club. Ajax is a decent club. I think that's what's going to happen.
which is fine. I wish him all the best there. I don't think that any of these guys want to stay, and I'm fine with that. And honestly, the only one that could stay would be that. Otherwise, get rid of the medical team because they've done us no services anyway, and all the
get
assistant
rid of
coaches and
them.
everything.
Absolutely rubbish. Get rid of them rubbish
Whoever's going to
medical
come in,
team.
he's going to bring in his own staff. Like Xabi Alonso will bring in all of his own assistants, all of his own trainers, everything.
Yeah,
I just want the whole thing to go. Then we can rebuild the whole thing.
And Mike, to the point you're making, I think you need to give the new manager the opportunity to come in with what he wants. Not
100%, 100%.
basically handcuff him with some hodgepodge group of people and say, these are your people, work with them. Doesn't work that way.
If you really wanted to be controversial, like if Xabi Alonso comes in and Xabi Alonso says, I need Wirtz and I need Frimpong, and we say, how are we going to get that money? And we sell Salah to the Saudi Pro League, are you doing that?
I could see that.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
No, 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 no,
Jenny.
I knew that would push some buttons. I knew that would push some buttons.
Before we hang on, guys, before we carry on, let me get to end. Hang on, one guys, 1 second. Hang on.
Sorry.
Let me just get to end. Hey, Super Chat, he's in here obviously as well. Hopefully the club sort out the whole sporting director. I'll just wait till official, but I'm also in for the West Ham director. Yeah, the West Ham sporting director, Tim Steen, and he's done a great job over at West Ham.
He's a good guy.
He's not the sporting director for West Ham. He's the technical director. The sporting director is Mark Noble.
How's now Army in the house? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'll just listen to you guys for the last 10-15 minutes, man. I enjoyed what I was listening to, man. So I just felt let these guys talk. Let me listen and observe. But yeah, I mean, Michael Edwards. For me, there's no smoke without fire. But I'm gonna be real. Sometimes the smoke can be coming from somewhere other than from where you want it to be. So I'm gonna be very cautious about this news in terms of if it's real or not. I think Liverpool do want him. I think he may just not want to be working or limiting himself to one club anymore. I just think he wants to move on in terms of. I don't think he wants to work in the constraints of a football club anymore. I think he wants to work somewhere else, but I could be wrong. It could be that he's always wanted this role in terms of being the person that calls the shots at Liverpool Football Club. If FSG give it to him, then I'll be more than happy. But there's something that tells me if he is going to become the sporting CEO of Liverpool, he's going to want a lot more than we think in terms of he may just want a stake in FSG, whether it be a 0.5%, whether it be 1% or something. He probably wants a stake because of that long money at the end. But
he set up his own company as well, apparently.
It's a Liverpool, I think.
No, all I was gonna say, the new company is not as important that people say, because if you look at Company House, his name is not on the registry, so it's not actually his company. If you read the news about that company and you look at the ins and outs, he's a non-executive director. He's a part of the board, and if we're good in layman terms, if people want it to be also quite as simple as possible, he's just there to shake some hands, sip a bit of pina coladas, and be there for the big meetings at the end. That's all he's there for. He's just putting his face to the brand, the company, so that they can bring in more sponsors, more revenue, whatever. He's not a massive. He doesn't call no shots in that company. He's not somebody that speaks or whatever. He's not even a shareholder or a stakeholder in that business. He's just the face of the company and he's helping out. He's making Dr. Ian Graham, who actually owns the company. So I don't think that company.
I heard it's pretty separate from that as well. He wants to set up his own company with the guy who was the data analyst, Ian.
Ian Graham already owns. No, he owns that company, Ludomantics. He owns it. So
he owns it. All right, okay.
He owns that company. So
yeah.
With Michael Edwards, I'd say wait for more news to come out. For me, I think Liverpool have already zeroed in on their sporting director choice. I think it will probably be announced by the international break, which it has to be at this point because we cannot let it simmer down or we cannot let it get to April, May without us having a sporting director or anything other than that because right now this is the time where top teams, what's it called, they already have their research planned out, their transfer window, the summer, the next winter, they have everything mapped out. We need to act now in terms of the sporting director, the sporting CEO, the technical director. We need it to be planned out now. So FSG, on that part, I will sit there and say the whole fan base is watching you. You need to act now. Get it done by the international break. If you can get in a proper sporting director or whatever. If Michael Edwards accepts as well, it could be good because the top targets, I don't mean to be a bit, what's it called?
Alarmist.
No, not that. I don't want to be a bit down, but I have to be kind of honest. No, I kind of have to be honest. It's not realistic. It's the best sporting directors right now are in a job right now. So if we want to go in for them, there's going to be a period of gardening leave. That's just going to happen. So the people like Dan Ashworth, which I don't want, by the way, but let's say people like Tim Steidten, Thiago Pinto, Jurgen Klinsmann, all of these top sporting directors, even Galafi from Lyon, from Nice, all of these sporting directors work at a football club right now, and none of them are going to just give them up to us easily. So they're going to be on a period of gardening leave.
Compensation as well. Compensation payments as well.
Yeah, 100%. So it's that's just how it is. So if Liverpool want to, if Liverpool want a proper sporting director, it's going to be looking like we're probably not going to be getting the top one right now. So you're probably going to have to, if Michael Edwards does come back for a sporting CEO role, he's probably going to have at least one summer of actually being the person that does the deals for us, which isn't too shabby. It's not too shabby as well. So overall, I'm happy. In terms of off the pitch, we just gotta get our things. We just gotta get our shit order. We just gotta get it sorted. In terms of on the pitch, we are down to our bare bones right now. Like, make no mistake about it. I'm actually happy for the youngsters. I'm really, really proud for them. But fuck me, are we really messed up in terms of on the pitch? What did these players do? What do these players do? We gotta have a serious question about these guys. Like, Salah has never been injured for more than 2-3 games in his Liverpool career.
That isn't fair, Ibrahim, because K-Mac was on this channel the other day, and he was talking about how muscle injuries for all teams are up by 40%, and it only makes sense given the fact that these guys are playing more minutes and there's more stoppages. So it's not just Salah.
No, you're right. But
it's everyone.
No, you're right, but Salah's never had those type of injuries, so you look at it differently for him. Players like Szoboszlai, I'm not going to get too worked up on.
33 years old?
Ibrahim, let me help you a little bit there. You see, Mike, I think what Ibrahim is trying to allude to is that, yes, we know that injuries have increased. We know that ACLs have taken up an alarming portion. Well, I won't say ACLs, CLs have taken up an alarming percentage of injuries. It simply means one thing. The physics simply means the stress has increased on the players. But here is the thing. How do you have 5 Liverpool players, Mo Salah, Alisson, Trent, Szoboszlai, I've forgotten the last person, all go injured, come back, are cleared, the very next match, and of course, Thiago, the very next match, they are injured again.
I agree.
Somebody is not doing his work.
That's down on the medical department. No,
exactly, and they've always sucked.
The medical department.
Yeah, exactly.
When your team doctor used to be an Arsenal doctor, what do you expect?
Well, if you go back and you look at it, 2 years ago, oh no, I'm sorry. 2 seasons ago when we were chasing for the quad, our injury, we had the most games missed by starters due to injury by like over 100 like total games, if that makes sense. And I think the same could probably be said for this season as well. It's just ridiculous, and I don't understand how it's always been a problem. How we've always had this issue since like 2020, to be honest. So that's 4 years of always dealing with injuries, which tells me that it's consistent and it's not just an anomaly, and it's happening time and time again. And also, some of these guys, these aren't like, I mean, Darwin Núñez, I think, is a groin. I think Szoboszlai is a hamstring. Allison's a I know that Allison slipped, right? So that's completely different than something happening in training. But I feel like most of the time, Konate was getting hurt in training. I don't know. It's just I don't really understand. Maybe it's the training methods.
Notice how
Yeah, it is,
Konate is being managed. Konate is being actually babied. Like his minutes are seriously managed. I mean, there's somebody basically calling out his minutes, which in and of itself is not a bad thing. But I also think that maybe, and I'm just thinking, maybe they should look at the training regime again. Okay, they should look at the training because I read this thing in Graham Souness's autobiography. He said Tommy Smith used to be managed. Basically, he hardly did training. He just walked on, put on his jersey and ambled up and about, and then he would, because as soon as they did any team training, intensive team training, he got injured. But when he was on the pitch, he wouldn't get injured. So I'm not saying that the game hasn't changed since then, but I'm simply saying they should look at the how the training regime itself is managed, because too many players get injured during training. It's almost unfathomable. Look at players who we hitherto took for granted that these guys will never be injured. How many times was Szoboszlai injured when he was at Leipzig? How many times has anybody ever heard Mo Salah? I mean, when Mo Salah starts missing matches, then you know there's a problem. Like, there's a problem.
That's the first time he's been injured in a while. He's not been injured that much, Salah. It's quite a coincidence. Like I said, whatever it is they're doing in training, because Klopp's doing it 100 miles an hour, everything 100 miles an hour. How about you turn down the tempo a bit and actually reduce the tempo of the training? Yeah,
I agree. Totally.
like
I mean, these guys are professionals. They can wake up in the morning and go and play a match without training. Why are we doing this to them? Why are we doing this? You know, a lot of people think the inside training stuff we see on the LFC TV Go is training. That's not training, man. Those
No, that's
boys
just
train at
warming up.
night.
No, it's just
Yeah,
warming up.
that's just warming. They train at night. You know, I read this, and I think it was in Pep Linders' autobiography. He said when Kirkby was being planned, the AXA guys wanted to build us an indoor training pitch. Klopp said no, nobody plays indoor football in the UK, so they should just make it open air training. So basically, when it's cold, they are fucking training in the cold. And at a point in time, it is going to become a factor. End of story.
No, mate. Look, the thing with the injuries that gets me here is that I don't like players get injured. I think we all can accept that players do get injured, you know, no matter who they are. My issue with injuries at Liverpool is the recovery. This seems to be the main issue at Liverpool. It's the recovery. Do you remember last season when Klopp told us that Bobby will only be out for 2 or 3 games, and we didn't see him for 4 months? You know, it's the recovery of these players. Look, I watched Darwin and Szoboszlai hurdle people and running downstairs full speed, but apparently they're still not ready. This is the issue. Now,
Can I just quickly add to this? Sorry, can I just quickly add to this? Right, that's the thing that pisses me off about Klopp. Right,
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that.
I love him to death, but I also hate him. Stop. Be specific when you say players out injured. Tell us how long they're going to be out for, and actually be specific. None of this, oh, they're going to be out for this bit, and then come to the actual date. Oh, you see the start of the 11. Where's Nunes? Where's Salah? I was like, hang on a second. You said they'll be back on this day. They come to that. The lineups come up, and they're nowhere to be seen. What in the name of garbage is this? Ah, God.
You know what it is, Bruno, yeah? You know what really pisses me off about Klopp? It's the part when he says they're 50-50 or it's a day-to-day basis. And then it's
Oh,
10
don't get
days
started
later.
on that.
Then it's 10 days
That's
later.
such waffle.
And we still don't know if they're going to be fit for Nottingham Forest. I mean, like, what the F are you talking about?
You know what,
Exactly.
Ibrahim?
Just be specific.
If you want to know the real status of our injury, listen to Pep Linders. He's very, very clear
He's very
when
specific.
he's giving
Very
those
specific.
interviews. He
Yes.
gives you exactitudes when it
100%,
comes to
100%.
the players.
Listen, we need to start a petition at Liverpool. Stop giving Klopp the presses and let Pep Linders take over. Because at least
We've got like
Linders,
we've got like 20 more pressers left. I feel like a petition is kind of at this point.
no, we need to start a petition. You know what it is?
Ibrahim,
If you want Klopp to answer the questions that are not injury related, but when it comes to injury related stuff, get Klopp off the podium and bring on Pep Linders.
Ibrahim, let it go. Let it go. Let it go, man. Let it go. You sound like the guy. You sound like the guy who's been in prison for 100 years, and then on the 11th hour of the 99th year, you are now trying to break out. Let it go. He's going. So let it go.
Going, but we need to get. We need at least when it comes to injuries. Can we please just not let Jurgen Klopp talk about injuries? Please.
I don't think
Do you remember what he said about Bacetic when Bacetic first got injured?
Oh, don't get me angry.
It was a stress injury, apparently. It was a stress injury. What's the date today? The 20th.
He's been out for 5 months, man. Fuck me, man.
It's been a year, man.
For growing pains. Remember that.
Yeah,
like,
Stefan had pain, didn't he? I don't think Stefan was actually injured. I think he just had pain and he couldn't get rid of the pain, so he couldn't play on it.
But they said it was
but it doesn't take 5 months for pains to get away. That's just that one.
No, I know it is weird. I think we can all agree our injuries, our club, is a bit. We don't know as fans.
Darwin Núñez hurdled the barricade. The guy, he doesn't
look
hurt.
The thing is, like, Scraps has said in the chat. Scraps has said in the chat that like we were saying, like we saw Darwin and so I was like, leaping and running around like madmen. And he's right in the chat. It doesn't mean they could play a 90-minute game, which is true. It's just visually when us fans see that, our two players who apparently are injured, hurdling people and hurdling boards and running at full steam, we look at that visually and go, well, how can they still be out? And then they're not ready. And then and then Klopp comes out and says, like, they're still not ready. And it's like, well,
it's a matter of whether they can do it's a matter of whether they can do full contact. So, I mean, the team training is full contact training. So, just the fact that you can handle something doesn't mean that you can handle it when somebody kicks your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
So
big up John Conway says Mo was injured. Hang on, guys. Said John Conway super chat says Mo was injured at AFCON, which is very true. I will say about Mo. Yeah, this is one thing I will say about Mo. Mo has never been injured, really, at Liverpool. He's had the odd thing here and there, but he's never really had a muscle injury. The only thing I will say about Mo, because he's never had a proper muscle injury, when you get into your 30s and you get a muscle injury, recovery is going to get harder than he was in his 20s, no matter how fit and great he looks. That would be my only worry with Mo now, that he's taken a little bit of time to come back from this, because he got fatigue in his muscle just playing that one game coming back. And he hasn't been seen since. So I think that's an age thing with Mo, which is something the club might look at when it comes to the end of the season.
And speaking about Salah, I saw an article the other day about Yakubu saying that Salah's not world class.
Right, he isn't.
Okay, Bruno. Next topic. Next fucking topic.
Yeah, Bruno. I really don't want to listen to a Blackburn region.
There's too much cheap weed. There's too much cheap weed going around. It should be banned. Next.
I actually have a question for everyone, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it, Mike.
because I've got
Perfect,
to
Mike.
dip out here pretty quick. So if you look at the remaining fixtures, we've got 12 games left. We're on 60 points, which also, fun fact, that's 7 points off where we finished last season with 12 games to go. But either way, 60 points, 12 games left. That means that the maximum that we can achieve this year is 96 points.
6 points.
If now going off some people's, in my mind, conservative estimates, some people say we can afford to draw 2 games, which would put us at 92 points. Do you guys believe that 92 points is going to be enough to win this league? Because, and also remember, I don't think that we're going to be able to win on goal difference because Arsenal already have that lead. And I also don't want to leave a title to the chance of goal difference. So do you think that 92 points is enough?
Here's how I see it. So when I look at the fixtures, Arsenal at the moment, I believe their next 3 Premier League fixtures are Brentford, Sheffield United and Luton, right? That's their next 3 games.
Man City, Man City, sorry. You forgot Man City.
Then they got Man City. Is at the end of March?
They have Man City before Luton.
Is it Man City before that? So I know going into April, Arsenal have got quite a few difficult back-to-back games where they could drop points. I think it's going to be very close. I'm going to say something that might shock people. I think City are going to finish 3rd this year. I think Man City are going to finish 3rd this year.
Nah,
I think they're very vulnerable. I know everyone's going to watch that Luton game and go, "Oh, right, City are back." But that Luton paid like 5-year-olds.
They could though. If City lose to us and Arsenal, that's 6 points drop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look, I think City are very vulnerable this year and can be got at. I mean, Luton scored 2 very good goals against Luton. I know they won 6-2, but Luton played like 5-year-olds at the back. They just decided not to just let Haaland do what he wanted and let Kevin De Bruyne do what he wanted, and they played really high up and played one-on-one defending against Man City when they ain't got the players to do it. It's madness, and they got destroyed because of it. I look at Arsenal. I think Arsenal are the biggest threat. I really do. I think what Arteta's done at Arsenal is really good. They've got players playing really good football. They got all their players fit, basically. I know they haven't got Timber fit, but Ben White's been doing that job now for almost 2 seasons really well. So it's not like Timber's a major thing, a cog in the wheel, to be fair. And Arsenal look good. And with Liverpool, the thing with Liverpool is, Liverpool are going to have players coming back to the business end of the season. And I actually think if Liverpool can stay in it, what Liverpool got to do, they've got to match the results of Arsenal and City, really. If they can match them results, Liverpool will still be top of the Premier League. And if they can stay in that top end of the Premier League, like 1st or 2nd, there's only a point in it or the same amount of points, and Liverpool get their top players back in the end of the season, I think Liverpool could be pretty fresh. I think Liverpool will be pretty fresh and can really put their foot down and go for it. You could have I think we could have 2 teams finish on 90 points and 1 team finish on 89 points. So I think it's going to be a madness, personally.
What I was going to say was, in terms of this title race, you look at Arsenal and Manchester City. I think Arsenal, their maximum points they can get right now is 94 points and Man City is 95. I can't see Man City and Arsenal personally, for me, finishing with more than 90 points. I can't see. I think they have too many difficult games from now to the end of the season. I.e., they both have to go away to Tottenham. They both have to. Man City have to go away to Anfield. Arsenal have to go away to, if I'm not mistaken, many difficult sides. So, if you want me to just say, I think they have to go. They have to play Chelsea. They have to play. Or go away to the Etihad. Have to go away to Wolves. Have to play Aston Villa. They have to go away to Old Trafford. I just can't see Manchester United. I can't see Arsenal winning all of those games personally. For me, Man City, with them being in the FA Cup now, I think they'll beat Newcastle getting to the semi-final. There's also that There's also that the Champions League as well. I think they'll start getting fatigued as well. For Liverpool, it's just the injuries, man. It's just the injuries. I find it very, very difficult for us to do what we need to do with the injuries that we have. If we get past this Forest game, because I think Salah, Nunes, and Szoboszlai will be back on the bench for this game. I think the telling point for me, the telling point for me was they weren't on the bench for that what's it called, that not the Luton game, the Southampton game. They weren't on the bench. That for me gave everything I need to know, because there's no way on earth Jurgen Klopp is playing Harvey Elliott for 90 plus minutes against Luton, 120-minute plus against Chelsea, and then playing him in a 70-minute cameo against Southampton if he didn't know that he had Szoboszlai coming back on Nottingham Forest. Same with what's called Gakpo, same with a lot of these players. So I think they'll be back, and if they can just steady themselves back into this team, I think the City game at home and the Arsenal City game at the Etihad will decide the title for me. I need to see what happens in those two games. If Liverpool beat City, I can't see City finishing above us this season. But then there's also a part of me that sits there and say that Arsenal at the Etihad, if it's a City win and then also it could be a draw, that just cancels it out and it just gives us a massive boost as well. So after those two games, that's what I would say. We'd have to come back at April the 1st. Come back in April the 1st, and we'll see.
It is definitely interesting, especially the City game, because that is Jurgen Klopp's last ever game against Pep Guardiola so far, like, as far as we know. If we don't go into Manchester again. So,
Guys, let me give you some stats. We've scored more goals than any other team.
yeah.
The only reason why our goal difference is short one from Arsenal is that we've conceded more goals, conceded 2 more goals than them.
Isn't it 3?
No, 2. So we've scored 63, conceded 25. They've scored 62, conceded 23. So their goal difference is only 1 better than ours. Notice that Arsenal have had to score about 16, 17 goals in the last 3-4 matches simply to catch up with us. So it's not as if we haven't been scoring goals. We've been scoring goals as well. We've been winning. We beat Arsenal 4-1. We beat Luton 4-1. We beat Newcastle 4-2. I mean, we've been winning big. Now, here's the thing. We are oftentimes, I don't know whether, I mean, maybe I'm just, the press seem to sell a story, and we, the Liverpool fans, seem to imbibe the story. Why am I saying this? Everybody keeps talking about Arsenal are on a run. Oh, Man City are champions. They know how to win. Nobody's saying that Liverpool are on top of the league. We're on top of the fucking league. Let's just assume all things are equal and everybody wins everything else. Arsenal win by 10-0, 10-0, 10-0 till the end of the league, and we win 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 till the end of the championship. We still win. So there are a couple of keys here. We shouldn't lose. We shouldn't lose to Man City. Reason why I say that is Arsenal will lose to Man City at the Etihad. Guaranteed they will lose, because they will unleash, Pep will unleash Kevin De Bruyne big time, and that, you know what's going to happen when that happens. They will lose. We shouldn't allow Spurs to come and kill us off at our own stadium by coming to get a draw. We shouldn't mess up against Crystal Palace. I'm talking about the usual suspects who derail our season. We still have them. We have Spurs, we have Crystal Palace, and maybe remotely of remote importance, we have Aston Villa at the Villa Park. Apart from that, I really don't see any of those teams troubling us. Our team is a lot better than we give it credit for, especially those little kids. That Jayden dance guy. Let me tell you what I noticed about the kid that I thought, this kid is phenomenal.
The movement.
I saw Michael Owen when he started. They said the same thing. Oh, he's a kid. Leave him be. He's a kid. You can't compare. You know what? Michael Owen started kicking shit when he was 16. He never stopped until his own foolishness took him to Real Madrid. Okay? And he ended his career by that stupid move. But this boy has finishing instinct. That is not taught. That is innate. Where you are at the time the ball is loose, how to take out a goalkeeper and put the ball in the net. We all saw that. We saw that yesterday. So as far as I'm concerned, we have some very good up and comers coming, and we have these kids who come from footballing homes So let's just say like thoroughbred racehorses, they have good pedigree. I don't see us messing this up. Make no mistake, Klopp is determined to win the league. He has been determined to win the league from day one. Jamie, I've been saying this to you since the beginning of last season. He's been so scarred by what happened last season. He's determined to go out on a high. So he may be pretending, but behind the pretense, look behind the pretense. Jude intends to win the league. At the last interview he gave, he said the Premier League medal is the most prestigious medal he owns. He said it himself. So don't be mistaken, he intends to win. And we are on top of the league. Let's ensure that it stays that way. Fuck Arsenal, man. Fuck them. You know, for Arsenal to win the league, I'd rather Man City win it again.
Yeah, you won't hear from him. But
The
look,
way I see it,
Go on,
Jamie. Right, I'm looking at games. Man United. Now it doesn't matter where we are in the league. Man United, the Devils as they call themselves, they are a very dangerous team. We cannot underestimate them. Crystal Palace. Now this is a team. It doesn't matter again where we are in the league. This is a team. Do you want to know the ironics? It's been 10 years. It's been 10 years. I'm not even going to mention the word. Yeah. Tottenham. Now I'm talking about one word here. Revenge. Revenge after what they did at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Yeah. And then the other game, Man City. Now we need to get revenge on them after what they did to us when they came to Anfield a few years ago and put 4 past us. We need to get revenge for that because that's not acceptable. And plus, also, Arsenal have to go to Manchester City. Tottenham have to go to Man City as well. So if they drop points, and by the way, if Arsenal drop points this weekend as well, there's going to be a huge pressure on them. There's huge pressure because they've been doing a lot.
Who are they playing? Who are they playing?
Brentford.
Yeah, Brentford
Okay.
United. So, and do you want to know something? Ivan Toney, who's a Liverpool supporter, if Arsenal lose or they draw, the pressure is going to be on their necks. In terms of points, I think we're going to need at least 92, possibly 93. Because Man City are very dangerous, right? They're going to start kicking into gear. I know people are saying they're not playing well. They just won't put 6 past Luton. So we need to be on top of our game. So far this season, when was the last time we've put 6 past an opponent this season in the league? I know we put 4 past Luton.
We've got 20. We've got 20 goals in the last 5 games.
Let's hope it continues. Hopefully, we start going into the stride and start beating these teams senseless.
Yeah, Arsenal got Sheffield United.
Let's also not forget, Arsenal still have Chelsea. And you know Chelsea will always do us a favour.
So, guys, we play Saturday at 3:00 away to Nottingham Forest, which will be a difficult game because Nottingham Forest got quick attackers that can threaten in behind. And we've played a lot of football recently, so that's going to be a difficult game, but we should get through it. Then Sunday, Manchester City are at home to Man United, and then Monday night football, Arsenal are away to Sheffield United. So Liverpool need a win basically because obviously the next game for us is Man City. So Liverpool need to make sure they just do their job and get the 3 points against Nottingham Forest. I don't care about the performances right now; just get 3 points. I really don't care how shit we look, how good we look.
That's all.
Just get the results, man. We're in the results end of the business season now. It's all about getting 3 points. See, Arsenal can play as well as they want and keep banging goals against all these teams. If Liverpool just keep winning 1-0 for the rest of the season, they win the title. It really don't matter what Arsenal do. So Liverpool just got to concentrate on themselves and just keep grinding out results like they are at the moment. But I don't even think we're playing that badly, even for players that are out injured. This is the thing.
Can I just quickly add as well? Sorry to disturb. We also have
incidentally, even though we don't have the star names, the kids are kicking, the kids are ripping shit. like I said, I on New Year's Day, I was at Anfield. We beat Newcastle 4-2, and we completely ground them down. I mean, the results didn't reflect.
Not keep the
Darwin
on the
Nunes
kids.
missed 8 sitters. Darwin Nunes, he missed 8 fucking sitters that day. We beat them mercilessly. We took out Chelsea mercilessly. I mean, and this is the same Chelsea team that people were saying, "Oh, look at that! Look at what our little kids did to them." In the second half of the what do you call it? Of the
Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup final, they were nowhere to be found. They were absolutely, they didn't do anything. So I'm saying that let's give ourselves a little bit more credit. Look, Arsenal have Brighton coming. They have Aston Villa. They have Wolves. They have Spurs. They have Man
Oh,
United. They're
oh
not
yeah,
going to
forgot
get,
about that.
yeah, they're not going to get full points from all those matches. I mean, if they do, then maybe they deserve to win the title. Look, if Arsenal beat Chelsea, they have to play Chelsea. If they beat Chelsea, they beat Man City, they beat Brighton, they beat Aston Villa, they beat Tottenham, they beat Man United, and even Bournemouth. They beat Bournemouth. Hey, then maybe they actually deserve to win the title. But you and I both know it's not going to happen. So hey, you know. To it, we have a better running, to be honest, and it's everything is in our hand. Let's go for the jugular. Let's finish this thing. Let's give Klopp the send up he deserves, and let's just keep on rocking.
Oh yeah, forgot to say also we've got to face Everton. Now this
Yeah, well,
will
that Everton game's got to be rearranged, which is going to be a nightmare
It's
for the
gonna be
Premier League.
Larry. Listen, going just across 1 mile across Stanley Park, going 1 mile across Stanley Park to go and rip shit is just like playing at home. Just the stadium painted blue. It's just a mile across the park. You can actually walk, and you are in Goodison Park. Fuck them, we'll beat them. They are a useless team. We'll beat them.
It's where they put that game though, because if Liverpool get to the final of Europa League, they're playing pretty much midweek weekend for the rest of the season almost. We've got the international break coming up as well. So it's the Premier League. I find it hard to put that. There was rumours if they can't put it anywhere, it'll have to be the final game of the season.
But guess what, Jamie? The international break will only work to our favor because you know what Klopp will do. He's going to tell his players don't go to the international break. Tell them you're injured.
We need. This is the first time ever Liverpool need an international break.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
all the
players
players.
out.
You
injured,
mark it anywhere. Klopp is going to tell almost all his players to say everybody's going to be injured. Just watch.
Yeah. Look, if we had a full fit team right now, are any of us actually worried?
No, not at all.
I personally think we go on to win the Premier League comfortably if we had a fully fit team right now. No injuries.
Jamie, I'm not worried. You know why? I've seen 12 matches this season. There's something that Klopp does. He throws relentlessness at you. Just when you thought you were safe, he throws on some more people to play relentless football. So they simply just keep running. They never stop. They are like lions hunting kudu. If you are kudu, you need to run. If you are lion, you need to run. If you don't want to be eaten, you need to run. If you want to eat, you need to run. So it's just relentless football. They just keep on coming at you, keep on coming at you, keep on coming. At some point, and it's high risk. I agree, it's high risk football, but it pays dividends because at some point you will buckle. Liverpool have scored 26 goals after the 80th minute this season. That statistic is very stark. It means they simply tire you out. They wear you out. That's what they do.
Definitely, man. Definitely. It's gonna be very, very interesting this running. Right, Alonso looks like it looks like it's gonna be a choice between the two. It looks like it's either gonna be Xabi Alonso or Ruben Amorim for me. There's been a lot of talk about Alonso the last 24 hours. One German, I think, reporter said that Alonso's a bit peed off with Bayern Munich because Bayern Munich are trying to rattle Bayer Leverkusen right now publicly, and he's not taking too kind to that apparently. Where do we think? What do we think happens? Personally, I think. I think Alonso. It's either going to be Alonso or Almiron. I think Almiron might go to Chelsea, and I think Alonso might go to Liverpool. I think De Zerbi's going to go to Barcelona or Bayern Munich. And for some reason, Tuchel, who's an absolute shit manager, keeps getting big jobs. And I think he might go to Barcelona and De Zerbi might go to Bayern Munich. But what do we reckon, guys?
Who do you think comes to Man United? Because Ten Hag is going to be sacked.
Yeah, he's going to be sacked.
Ten
It was
Hag.
Tuchel.
I think they're after. The last report I saw about Man United is that they want Zidane.
Yeah, that's
But
not going to happen.
Zidane has openly said he doesn't want to go to a country whose language he doesn't speak.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just don't know what United do. I think United, if United get Tuchel, that's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Well, if they get Tuchel, they simply don't want to do well. That's it.
Yeah, Tuchel falls out
They
of
get
everyone.
Tuchel,
As
they
well.
don't want to do well.
I've never seen a manager that falls out of players so quickly as Tuchel. It's hilarious. He just
If they get Tuchel, it means they don't want to progress. I actually think De Zerbi goes to Man United. That's what I think. I think De Zerbi goes to Man United.
maybe. It's mad how many managers are probably moving this summer, though.
Yeah,
You look at,
and another manager who will probably move is Thomas Frank. I think it's rather Thomas Frank who might go to Chelsea.
yeah, I like Thomas Frank. I think he'd be good somewhere
I
else.
like him too. I like him too.
Very
He's one of the managers that I think if we don't get Xavi Alonso will be good for us because of the style he plays.
No
But-
chance. Nah.
No.
No.
Paul, you know why I like him? He plays the same relentless style that Klopp plays. You see, managing Brentford.
I want to get rid of that style. I want to move away from that style completely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Yeah.
For me, like I said, I am not too much of a possession-based fan. I don't really think it that's much for us. I'll put the ball in the fucking net. I don't need you to twirl around like fucking synchronized swimming. Put the ball in the fucking net and just
There's more control. I mean, that's why we're getting these injuries because this headless chicken football that you keep playing is.
But they keep winning with it.
Players, yeah.
That's why the kids are winning. The headless chicken playground style football is why the kids are winning. Can you imagine those kids trying to play like Gavi and Pedri? We won't win shit.
Oh, they can do it if they're coached correctly.
I have a problem with players hanging onto the ball. I simply have a fucking problem with it. And for that reason, I'm going to say this. I'm not really a fan of Thiago. Enough already. Fucking retired.
I am a big fan of him. He's the type of player we need. There's two. That's why I'm getting bored of football altogether.
I absolutely love Endo. I absolutely love Endo. Minimum touches, get the ball where it needs to be, put in the kinds of tackles you need to put in, let the ball do its work. All this business.
That's why football's so shit today. There's too many of those type of players, man. It is. Football's so dry. There's no ballers like Matthew Letitia, Messi. It's all because they're not allowed to express themselves. They're forced to play in this blood clot system, systemized, structured football, which is forced upon like people like Pep Guardiola. In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Look, system football is what it is now. I don't think it's ever. It's because there's too much money in football now. Losing one game is you can't lose a game financially no more. So they have to make it systematic. That's the way it is. They have to make it systematic, and there's no choice. But if you watch the Spanish league, I think there's a bit more openness in the Spanish league, the way they play.
That's what I've been watching, Girona especially.
But the problem with the Spanish league, there's no money in it, and so they can get a bit more.
Yeah, apparently I've heard that.
Go on.
Apparently, from what I've heard, that the audiences have increased for Spanish football. Apparently, from what I've heard, so there might be money in it with a couple of years to go or something like that. There could be,
Yeah, I think because there's more English viewers watching the Spanish league now.
Yeah, probably
I
true.
like the Spanish league. You know, it's the second
Yeah.
best league in the world. There's no doubt about it. But
I heard we're also looking at is it Simone Inzaghi as well as a possible.
Inzaghi's done a job at Inter Milan. You can't rule that
it
out.
could be him. I wouldn't mind him personally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
Italian manager at Liverpool, it'd be different.
And if Uncle Albert, he's been muted, is he? I was just going to say.
I'm saying, Paul. I'm saying, if you say you don't like Thomas Frank, why would you want
Wesley Hansi
Inzaghi?
Flick would be a good Klopp comparison, in my opinion.
Why would you like Inzaghi if you don't like Thomas Frank? Inzaghi plays a more extreme version of what Thomas Frank does, because he has better players.
That's something to think about there. You could be onto something there, Albert.
Yeah, he plays a more. I mean, he sticks to that 3-back and those advancing fullbacks like glue. I mean, Bastoni and the Dutch guy. What's his name? Forgotten his name.
Van der Ven or Van der.
No. The Dutch fullback, black guy.
Dumfries.
Dumfries. So he does exactly what Thomas Frank does. He just has better players. Thing is this. Look,
he's a better tactician than Thomas Frank.
Miles better. But listen, we all know who we want, right? So let's stop fucking beating around the bush and pissing around. We know who we want. Let's go get him. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, we know we want Xabi Alonso for several reasons other than how good he's even doing. Guy is a Liverpool lad. He had his best football in Liverpool, won Champions League with Liverpool, played like a god in Liverpool. That guy could pick 40-yard passes like there was no tomorrow. He knows the terrain. He knows how much the fans adore their team. I always tell people there are only 2 other clubs which have the kind of religious following in
the world,
British football, that Liverpool has. It's Celtic and Rangers. Liverpool, the town and the support.
I'm sorry, you got to count them whether you like it or not. Yeah.
Oh, Manchester United supporters are commercial supporters, man. They are commercial supporters. I'm telling you that right now. Before Sir Alex, Man United's best player was Norman Whiteside. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that Liverpool, the town of Liverpool and its people, they absolutely die for their team. So Xabi Alonso knows that.
I agree with that.
We are not going to bring anybody to teach that. That's why I'm saying all this talk about Amorim, this, that. Fuck all that. Go get the guy, give him whatever he wants. Let him bring in whoever he wants. I hear he wants to bring in Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong. Let him come in. We also need to get rid of some deadwood. Players like Thiago and Matip and others need to go. Get rid of it. Get it done. Oh gosh, you just said the A word. Let him go. Let them go.
As well would be a nice one. It'd be another one I would get rid of as well.
Yeah. And I honestly think another player, and I'm going to say this controversially, I think another player we need to get rid of is Gakpo. We need to let him go, man.
Gakpo. I don't think we would have bought Gravenberch or Cody Gakpo if someone like Michael Edwards or Julian Ward was still around. I just don't think.
I mean, what do we buy them? What do we buy them?
I think we should give Gravenberch a chance. He's only been here for half a season. He hasn't played much football in the last 2 or 3 years.
I think Gravenberch is the thing about. Like, I agree with Paul. I do think there's something about him. The Gakpo one I find weird because when Klopp wants wingers, he wants pacey wingers that are great on the counter press and great in transition. You know, he wants that pace in the wide areas. That's why Gakpo don't play there. You know, we bought a winger that's always played winger, and we bought him to play a false 9 role or midfield. He ain't got the pace. He ain't got the pace to play the Jurgen Klopp wing system in the wide area.
And then, so many 18 months down the line, you admit that you've destroyed the player. I mean, you admit it in a press conference that you messed him up because you've tried experiments that don't work. Why do you always have to try an experiment? You scouted the guy, he was a left winger. He was captain of his team. You brought him, change his position. If he's not playing false 9, he's playing as an 8. If he's not playing as an 8, he's playing as a full fucking back. Now you messed him up, and now you're saying, oh, we've done experiments that have hit his confidence. What the fuck do you think you were doing then?
To answer that, Albert, I would replace him with Pedro Neto.
Sorry?
I'll get Pedro Neto for Wolves.
Well, that brings me to a point.
That guy's a fruitcake, man.
Hang on, Fabrizio has put out a tweet today, and some others have actually tweeted this as well. So actually, Liverpool journalists have tweeted this as well. That apparently Liverpool in the summer are targeting centre backs and wingers.
Yeah.
That guy Pedro Neto is a great player. The only thing is that you are not going to have him half of the time because he's going to
want 80 million for him as well. So
go and get Florian
Wirtz.
Get Florian Wirtz. That's the player we need. Get rid of Gakpo. Get Florian Wirtz. That's the player we want.
The problem is though, if Liverpool getting wingers, someone's got to leave.
We need to get rid of Gakpo, man. We need to get rid of Gakpo, man.
Liverpool get rid of Gakpo, who's younger. The Liverpool get rid of Gakpo, who's younger than Luis Diaz.
See, I think this is just my thoughts. I think the reason why Klopp continues to feel Luis Diaz is because of his defensive abilities.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
I think defensively he's very good. He augments what the fullbacks do, and that's what I think. As for Gakpo, I think I just Gakpo looks like a fucking wafer, man. I'm simply tired of him.
I personally, there was a bit. I've been saying this for a while now, yeah, and I will keep saying this. There was a bit in yesterday's game when Gakpo looked at his best. When Gakpo looked at his best in yesterday's game, he was driving from midfield. And I will keep saying this. I think Cody Gakpo will eventually be a midfielder. I really do. I think he'll eventually be a midfielder in his career.
Yeah.
Every time I watch him play for Liverpool, especially, when he gets it on the halfway line and he drives from midfield through the central areas, it's hard to get the ball off him. He knocks people off. He's got that long stride pattern. And he did it yesterday.
I think Klopp's plan was to turn him into a Bobby Firmino kind of thing. But Bobby Firmino is Bobby Firmino. You can't keep buying a player and taking him from where he's comfortable and thinking that you're going to turn him into something else. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Right, Jamie, you can head out now, okay?
All right. And I've said this and I keep saying this all the time. There are too many experiments going on when Liverpool are playing. We just need to stick to what players do best and just let them do what they do best. End of story. Let's just play the match and go home. That's all.
Exactly what I've been saying. Stop trying to convert flipping wingers into flipping left backs. Stop trying to convert flipping strikers into flipping left wings. That's what is going on, man. He keeps doing this every game. People keep saying, let's put flipping Nunes left wing. He's a striker. He's got number 9 on his back. He's wearing a shirt that is very iconic in Liverpool, right? And you're trying to put this guy flipping left wing. When he was at Benfica, he was a striker. Now Gakpo, he came as a winger. He's a winger. He's not a striker. He's a winger. You put him left wing, and you tell him you do your job, and the other player does his job. None of this playing inverted. And also, can I just quickly say, why does he keep doing this crappy inverted thing? Stop trying to do it. Pisses me off every single time. Always doing the inverted wingers, inverted fullbacks. Like, get rid of it. If it doesn't work, get rid of it. Oh my
Bruno,
God.
the inverted thing was done to accommodate Trent. Here is the thing with Trent that people don't want to hear. Move Trent to the midfield and put a fullback behind him. And that's the end of that story. Trent is not a good fullback. Not.
Agreed.
That's it. Not. I don't want to hear this. He's a generational player. Okay. So in Ghana we have a saying. I've got plenty of money. I've got plenty of money, but unfortunately it's not with me. He's a generational player. He may be generational everything. He's not a good fullback.
Yes.
We are having this conversation now because we've seen the emergence of Conor Bradley.
Yes.
Conor Bradley is a fullback. He can attack. He can defend. He can, hey, presto, he can actually invert. Yesterday, we saw something that we've never seen before in 8 years. Joe Gomez can play as a 6. Hello. I never knew that was possible in my lifetime. Trent is not a good fullback. Trent will play excellently on the right side of a tree. Trent will play excellently if you put him in a double pivot with somebody like Endo, who's going to clean up after him. We get that. Do that. The other thing you can do is put 3 fullbacks there and put Trent on the right side of the 3 fullbacks, of the 3 centre backs, so that you don't injure your centre backs, so that you don't get them cards, because every time Trent is playing at fullback and he doesn't come back, he's compromising the position of Konate or the other guy, what's his name, Kwanzaa. So by the 15th, 16th minute, they have cards. Then you've limited them. Against Arsenal at the Emirates, because of the early card Konate took, it affected him the whole game. He ended up getting sent off. Why does that have to keep happening? I haven't even begun to go to the hamstring yet. I haven't started talking about a hamstring. We cannot build a team around the fullback. It's not done. It's not done. And trust you me when I tell you that the next manager of Liverpool is not going to build our team around Trent. It's not going to happen. Yes, he's an excellent passer, so put him in the midfield. Get a fullback.
Put him in the cam position. Put him in the 10 position, edge of the box. Slap the ball in the top corner.
Do whatever. Put him as centre forward. Put him on the right side as the right side winger. Whatever you do, just don't put him as a fullback, because he's not a good fullback. End of story. I don't want to hear this. He's the best fullback in the league. How can he be better than Kyle Walker? How can anybody tell me that Trent is a better fullback than Kyle Walker? Let's have that conversation right now.
Every time he's playing against an attacker, my heart starts beating 1,000 miles an hour.
The thing is, Bruno, guy doesn't even want to do it. You see, it's one thing we saying he's deficient, but he doesn't want to do it. The will is the most important thing. Dude doesn't want to defend. So why are you trying to force him to defend? If you are going to play him, ever since this kid started playing as a fullback, don't you watch Liverpool matches and you have a breath like he's going to defend. Like he's going to defend. He's going to augment the centre forward. The centre backs. In essence, sometimes we play with only 2 centre backs. Liverpool played games where Robertson goes so far ahead he can't get back. Trent goes so far ahead he can't get back. And you look at the wide swath of the 50-yard stretch of the pitch behind the centre line, and there are 2 fullbacks there. I mean, what's all that? That's kamikaze football. That's like real Russian roulette kind of football. And every now and then you'll be found out. The big boys will find you out.
You have got to be kidding me. You want laying out a person. Now we get.
Yeah, when you played against Vinny Jr., look what happened.
You play against Martinelli, you'll be found out. Vinicius will find you out. The other guys, the big boy wingers will find you out. You know they'll find you out.
Definitely.
Exactly.
He's been found wanting against quality wingers. Even Jeremy Doku. Yeah.
Exactly. And we've got a face against them next week. So I don't want to see that. Put this guy in the 10. In fact, get rid of this stupid 4-3-3. I've said it 100 times. Get rid of it.
Well, I don't want to remind you guys of the Champions League final.
Yes.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Generational mistake.
I get what everyone's saying with Trent. I do, but what's difficult is that we've only lost 3 games in all competitions, right? And when I watch Conor Bradley, I do think he's the future of that spot. There's no doubt about it. I want Trent pushed forward a little bit more, because I think we can all agree his skill set is second to none if you get him in the right areas of the pitch. I think we can all agree with that. You know, he's a tremendous footballer. Defending's not his forte, but attacking and passing the ball is. And if you get Trent in the correct areas of the pitch, Trent is going to be an absolute weapon. I don't think Trent's future is at right back. You know, I think that's Conor Bradley in the future, but I've got to have Trent in my team. You know, I have to have Trent in my team.
He's nowhere near my team.
Jamie,
No.
I am in full agreement with you. I'm saying put him on the right side of a 3.
Exactly.
Put him on the right side of a 3, put 3 center backs behind him, or put him in a double pivot. You know, you've heard of the group everything but the girl, everything but fullback. Like put him anywhere on the pitch but fullback. Because you see, the fullback responsibility is so huge that if you leave that void, right? If you leave that void behind there for good attackers to exploit, they'll kill you all day, right? They'll mess with you all day. So, you know, it's a moot point. Let's just let the guy go up. And he's given several interviews in which he has stated openly that he wants to go further up the pitch. Let him go up the pitch. Let him compete with the midfielders for a spot. End of story.
Exactly.
Like if Liverpool played 4-4-2, if Liverpool played 4-4-2, I'd play Trent right midfield. You know, I think that'd be perfect for him. You have Bradley behind him at right back. But look, Liverpool playing this attacking way 4-3-3. Like I do think 4-3-3 is right for us right now because you know we're top of the league. We're in every competition playing this way, so I wouldn't change anything this season. Next season's going to be completely different. We know because the new manager's going to be here, so we don't know what's going to happen. But we're going to have to leave it here, guys, because I've got to go because I've got to do some pet daddy duties. But big up to everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been great. I will do another calling show. I might do it once a month to get everyone on saying their bit and all that. So I'll probably be back next month, guys, doing a calling show. Thank you very much, everyone in chat. Thank you very much, everyone on the super chats as well. John Conway with the 5 gifts. Sam X Legend, NGA, John Conway, thank you very much for the super chats and the gifts. I appreciate it. Guys, I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us now. Big up to everyone. Thank you for being here. Go and like and share the video, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.